Okay, so this is the homework for this week, Unit 5, Lesson 1, and it's going to review the concepts we learned in the last lesson. So this is a basic cube, and I'm sure you know what these coordinates mean by now. So in the space below, what I want you to do is two things. I want you to explain to me, well, three things technically. I want you to explain to me what these set of columns control, what these set of column or set of coordinates control, and what this column controls. Now, we went through this in the last lesson, but essentially, depending on which way you're facing, the first column, which is this, and the second column, which is this, or rather the third column, which is this, will either control forwards, backwards, left, or right. Now, you might be thinking, why does it matter which way I'm standing? Well, if you're facing this way, if you're looking in this direction, well, your left, right, forwards, and backwards are going to be different. So all you need to know is that the first and last column control left, right, forwards, and back. You don't actually need to know which one it controls, just that they control forward, back, left, and right. And then of course, the second column, the middle column, controls how tall your building is. So if we were to have in this column here, instead of 10, if we put in 5, it would be 1 cube tall. Good. So the next thing is we're changing one thing at a time. Now, in the last lesson, some of you changed 2 or 3 coordinates at one time and you got a little bit confused. I encourage you to change one thing at a time because it's going to make things so much easier for you, right? So take a look at this. Here we have a cuboid and it's 5 cubes tall, or 5 blocks tall, right? Now, if we want to make a cuboid, a tall cuboid, we can change one of the numbers. And instead of being a cube, it's going to be a cuboid, right? It's going to be a much taller structure. Now, if I wanted to stack another shape on top of my cuboid, I would have to look at where my cuboid ends. So my cuboid ends at 15. So let's say, for example, this is a cuboid. Really bad drawing, I know. And then I wanted to build a shape on top of this. Well, that means I would start at 16. Can you see how that works? We are starting where this column ends. And that means it would build on top of this cuboid and go up again, like so. Again, I apologize for my very, very bad drawing. It's quite difficult on the tablet. Okay, so in the space below, what I want you to do is now create a third cuboid on top of these cubes. A third cuboid would extend this way, right? So think about what I did. I kept 1, 2, 3, 4 the same, and all I've changed is the numbers in the middle, right? So I started where my previous cuboid ended. So you're going to do the same thing. You are going to start where this ends and extend further by 9 blocks. The difference should be 9 blocks. You can see 16 to 25. 25 take away 16 is 9. 15 take away 5 is 10. But we're going to do it like this. 10, 9, and then your one will be 9 blocks tall. Just so we have a nice even number at the end, which is going to be 35, which is actually a hint. So, good. The next thing is creating the tree. Now you can use this grid system to sort of help you, right? And if you imagine a tree is just a single block wide and long tall structure. So, well, if we use this grid system, we can see that we just need to put in start from 2, end at 2, start from 2, end at 2. And it looks something like this, right? Start from 2, end at 2, start from 2, end at 2. Now what you need to do is change the middle columns or the middle coordinates to make it a tall structure. So you can do 0 to 10, 0 to 15, depends how tall you want your tree. Now the taller the trunk, likely the taller your leafy head is going to be, which is right here. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down the coordinates here. We already know that this is 2 and 2, and this is 2 and 2. So I want you to write down how tall your tree is going to be. So it could be 0 and 10. It could be 0 and 5. It could be 0 and 17. Try not to go too high. Try to be a bit realistic. Try and think about how tall a tree might be in real life, right? So I want you to write down how tall the trunk is. Good. Now, the leafy head is much wider and longer. So it starts from 1, ends at 3, starts from 1, ends at 3, right? So we see we're going forwards and backwards, we're going left and right. Starts at 1, ends at 3, starts at 1, ends at 3. Good, which is what we've done here and here. Now, as you know, since we're building this leafy head on top of our trunk, whatever you put in this column right here, this is going to be your end point for the trunk, which is going to be your start point for the leafy head, which goes right there. So the last thing you want to do is put in something in here that makes sense. Now, there's no fixed answer because trees look different. Trees are all very different, right? So as long as you don't do something too ridiculous or too crazy or too out there, it'll be the correct answer. Try and make it at least 5 blocks tall, right? Meaning, if here we start at 10, make sure this is 15. If here we start at 25, make sure this is 30, right? At least 5 blocks tall. Okay, and then at the end, I want you to put in your coordinates right like so. And that should be the end of the homework. So it shouldn't be too difficult. Fairly simple homework today. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to help you. So, goodbye.